techniques na makuha natin. And so, let us move on. Let us meet our first demonstration teacher, who is a graduate of BS Geography at the University of the Philippines. Wow. And is currently finishing Master of Arts in Education, majoring in Social Science at the University of Perpetual Health System. She has served as secondary public school teacher for 8 years, and at present, it is a social science coordinator, SSG, and CIC advisor, and a guidance teacher at Samaria High School. She is a published author, both locally and internationally, and a coach of division contest winners. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome our first demonstration teacher, Miss Precious O. Gregorio.
Okay. Good morning, grade 12 viewers. Let's first start the class with a prayer. May I request Mr. Polo to lead us the prayer.
Right.
Amen. Again, good morning.
Morning po.
Good morning
Morning
po.
po.
Morning, ma'am.
Morning, ma'am.
Okay, so yes, it's another day for us to learn about Philippine politics and governance. I hope you learned a lot from the previous lesson about the Philippine democratic politics. And to continue, let's see how this democratic politics began to work for the people. So let's get it on. Okay, there you go. There. Now, what do you see on your screen? Yes, Jorelyn?
It is the people power during EDSA revolution.
Yes, very good. So this is the first EDSA revolution, which we discussed in our lesson last time. And still, the concept of people power that you have said, Geraldine, has something to do with our lesson for today. Okay. So at this moment, I want you to go to the WooClap application and enter the code ZCPAYR. And I would like to know your prior knowledge about the result or effect of people power to Filipino nation. So this is like Mentimeter class. And I can also check there if all of you are participating. So let's take a look at our WooClap. Whoa, so so many of you have already casted some entries. As we can see in the word cloud, most of you answered democracy and election and freedom. And yes, of course, these are all the results of people power. Are these concepts related to one another? Yes, Nova.
Yes po, ma'am, they are related to one another po. People power leads to democracy, which gives the people freedom and right, especially when it comes to choosing our leader through a process called election.
Okay, that's right. Very good. Are we affected by these concepts? Yes, Angelica.
Of course, ma'am, people began to enjoy the rights that we new government gave to the country. Also, democracy changed everything, and until now, we are embracing it. That's why we choose to be peaceful in choosing our leaders, and so we go through a process called the election.
Okay, well said. Thank you, Angelica. You know, there's one word you keep on saying, which I think is much related to our lesson today. So, do you have any idea for our lesson for today? Yes, Nehe?
Ma'am, I think our lesson for today has something to do about elections.
Okay, that's right. So today we will discuss about Philippine politics and Philippine elections and political parties. Okay. So before that, before we proceed, I would like to present to you our most essential learning competency and objectives. So for the MELC, we have to analyze the nature of elections and the political parties in the Philippines. Um, then we have these objectives. First, define elections and political parties in the Philippines. Second, perform a mock election and make an electoral map of the previous vice presidential result. And third, state the importance of election by interpreting a video. Okay. You know what? This word election is very trending now because we are going to have the national election in 2022, right? But what is our understanding about election? Anyone? Yes, RG.
Yes, ma'am. For me, ma'am, election is an activity in choosing our leaders.
Okay, choosing our leaders. Anything more? Yes, Joshua. Joshua D.
Ma'am, I think election is giving power from the people to the winning candidate to lead.
Okay, it gives power to lead. That's true. Yes, another Joshua. Joshua F.
Election mom is like a collective decision-making process, but a formal one to know who will really lead the people.
Okay, so election is a formal decision making process. Okay, thank you very much. Very good. All of your answers are correct. Okay. Now let's see. Looking at this slide, according to Maria Elisa Lau in 2011, election is a mean of choosing leaders, ascertaining control of governments, conferring legitimacy, and evaluating those parameters. So basically, election, like what you have said, is the power of the people, a legal way to choose leaders in the government, and these leaders will rule over the government, will serve the people, and will control the resources. And even before, we are already exercising this, like in choosing our homeroom officers, SSG officers, right? But of course, there are qualifications to follow before we can vote for our bets. Now, I want you to watch this video and take note on the important concepts.
Hi, grade 12. I know some of you are already in 18 years of age, while others need to wait for one more year. Why am I saying this? Because one of the responsibilities of being in legal age is to vote. Today, let's talk about election. Election is a universal process where the registered voters choose their candidates through electoral process. Can I vote?
Yes, you can. Only if you are a citizen of the Philippines, not otherwise disqualified by law, 18 years of age or over on the day of election, resident of the Philippines for 1 year, and in the city or municipality wherein you proposes to vote for at least 6 months immediately preceding the election, you must registered in the permanent list of voters of the city or municipality in which you reside. And lastly, if you are in abroad on the day of election, you can still vote, or what you call the absentee voting, as long as your citizenship is a Filipino, not otherwise disqualified by law, and you are at least 18 years of age. However, you are disqualified to vote if you have been sentenced to suffer imprisonment for not less than 1 year. You committed any crime involving disloyalty to the government, such as rebellion and sedition, and if you are declared as insane or incompetent person. I hope you're not. Who will administer the election? According to Article 9-C, Section 2 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution, the Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, will enforce and administer all laws and regulations relative to the conduct of an election, plebiscite, initiative,
referendum, and recall. And in 1997, Comelec was authorized to use the automated election system, but it was only in 2010 national election that this system was first utilized.
Have you already registered? Go out and register. It is a right and obligation to vote. This is what we call suffrage. It is a mere privilege and a political right. On the next election, let's vote for the next president until to the party list representative and even until the representative of the last political unit of your place. Together, let's wisely choose the right leaders and help them not only to solve today's issues, but to create better futures. Let's vote. Okay, did you understand the video?
Yes.
Okay, so don't forget,
That's right.
thank you. Don't forget those concepts for a better understanding about elections because next year 2022 is our national election and some of you are already eligible to vote. Remember a while ago in the video it was said that you can already vote if you are 18 years old and above. Who are 18 years old and above here? Wow, I hope you already registered. And for those who are not registered yet, register now. It is our responsibility as a citizen of this country. And since we are all excited for that event, let's have a mock election. Okay, so this will be our first activity. And later we will answer the following guide questions. Number one, whom do we vote for? Number two, what characteristic or characteristics of an election should it primarily possess? And how candidates are voted by the people. Okay, so again, let's log to wooclap.com with the same code. And this time it is like Slido where we can do polls. So I want to know who are you going to vote for if Pinoy superheroes will run for the next presidency. Okay, so let's take a look at our WooClap. Whoa, it seems Darna will win. Okay, we have Darna here, Super G, and Enteng Kabisote. And yeah, obviously, I think Darna made a landslide victory. Okay, before I'll ask about the results, what do you think first is the most important characteristic of an election, especially on what we did now? Yes, Carla.
Ma'am, I think it is a fair one because we voted without asking others' choices. It is private and with the results, we can only see the numbers but not our names.
A fair one. That's good. And I hope this coming 2022 national election will also be free and fair. Okay? This time, may I now ask, why do you think Darna won our MAC election? Anyone? Yes, Noel?
Ma'am, I think Darna won because aside from her quality, maybe her running mates under a party into their party is legendary and until now they are idolized by a lot of people. Compared to Enteng Cabisote, some do not know him, especially the new generation. But I think I know the breakers. And also Super G, which I also even don't know. And she's independent, no one is talking to her but herself only.
Okay, very good observation. Just an FYI, and maybe you will tackle this in your literature class. Super G existed sometime in 1960s, and the role was played by Miss Nora Honor, if you know her. Okay, after this, you can ask your parents or grandparents about Super G. Anyway, moving on. Congratulations to Darna for being our third Philippine women president. Okay, so your analysis on the result was very good. You also have inserted the concept of political party, and Noel said that it influences also the voting behavior of the people. So let's have a deeper look about it in our second activity. Okay. So now in our second activity, we will make an electoral map. based from the data of 2016 vice presidential election results per province. Okay, so the data can be seen in our Jamboard. By the way, all application links are already posted on your screen, and you can use your Google Lens for a faster access. All right, so let's see. Let me present our Jamboard first. Okay, so from that data, each group will pin their assigned places on the map of our Padlet app. So let's see if you still remember your geography. So below each vice presidential candidate are the places or provinces where they won in the election. Please also get the winning percentage of the candidates. So we will do some little math here. Just the count of the provinces divided by 81, the total number of provinces multiplied by 100. And this will help you to make an analysis later in relation to the effects of a political party that you're going to answer collaboratively in our Google Sheet. Okay? So later, anyone from your group will present guided by the following questions. Number one, how a political party influenced people's votes. Number two, what are the advantages and disadvantages of a political party? And third, how can a candidate further influence people's voting behavior? There. So we will also use this rubric. Okay, we have the following criteria: organization, content, style, for a total of 30 points. And you have 2 minutes to finish everything. Now let's take a look with the progress at our Padlet. Okay, some places are already pinned. Let's just check some pins here. We have a red pin here in Ilocos for Vice Presidential candidate Bongbong Marcos. We have a blue pin here in Sorsogon for Cheese Escudero. While in Albay, let's see, a yellow pin for our current Vice President Leni Robredo. And we have also, okay, sige, keep going, green pin here in Davao for Alan Peter Cayetano. Okay, so keep going. So this time, let's check the Google Sheet. Okay, so some members of Group 1 already contributed some answers. Also in Group 2. Okay, just keep coming on your answers. Let's go back to our Jamboard. All right. So you already computed for the winning percentage. Very good. Let's check the Padlet again. Wow. So fast. I think all places are already pinned. Very good. Let's take a look once more to our Google Sheet. Okay. So this is for Group 2. This is for Group 1. All right. I think everybody is ready. So Group 1, may you please present your work?
For Group 1, out of 81 provinces in the Philippines, we are assigned to pin provinces where Marcos won by 40.74%, and also some provinces where Robredo won by 50.62%. And it can be seen on the map that Marcos, the red pins, ranked first on the most provinces in Luzon, only 2 provinces in Visayas, and 8 provinces in Mindanao, while Leni Robredo, the yellow pins, ranked first on the most of the provinces in Visayas and in Mindanao, while in Luzon, she only got its 14 provinces. If we are going to relate this with the presidential results, Mar Rojas actually ranked first in the Visayas, and Robredo was her running mate, and they are both interlocked. And we all know that late President Noynoy Aquino is also a member of Liberal Party and has a big influence in Tarlac because it is his hometown. And so Robredo got a big ally for having that political party.
So, how do we define political party then?
Ma'am, I think political party is a group of people who seeks positions and they nominate official candidates to run in the elections.
Okay. And to add, let me just present this. Okay, when we say political party, according to still Maria Elisa Lau in 2011, it is a main vehicle for organizing groups for elections, organized along a given program and with the main objective of securing state seats. Okay, we have examples there like Nationalista Party, where Cayetano and Marcos belong, PDP Laban, the group of President Duterte, UNA, the group of Binay, and the Liberal Party, the group of Vice President Leni Robredo and former President Noynoy Aquino. Okay, going back to Group 1. So, do you think having a political party can impact the election?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, the advantages of a political party that our group answered were number one, they allow the average persons to organize into a political force by having political parties. Individuals can work together with others who think or feel the same way they do about specific issues. Number two, they help people to grow personal and professional networks. And number three, they can limit the influences of money on the elections. However, party systems create functionalism, meaning it could encourage jealousy between parties. Like now we have Dilawans versus DDS. As a result, the public is forced to form factions because they could not agree on certain levels. And number two, political parties crush individuality, meaning the people may not be allowed to form their individual opinions on certain issues because they are expected to follow what their party is telling them.
Okay, that's correct, Brian. Okay, to continue that, what are other factors that you think could influence voting behavior of people aside from having a political party? I think you mentioned a situation about that a while ago. Maybe other member can answer. All right. Yes, JR.
Ma'am, I think if we are going to take the case of Marcos, there's an influence of political dynasty and regionalism because their family is well known and respected in their hometowns, where he won in Ilocos on his father's side and later on his mother's side.
Okay, very good, JR. Thank you very much, Group 1. So it is very clear that having or not having political party, political dynasty, and regionalism can also influence the election or the voting behavior of the people. Okay, so I would just like to make a little trivia. Um, okay, Another term for regionalism is gerrymandering, from the name of Elbridge Gerry, a former vice president of USA, who made a district. Look at the picture at your right. So that was compared to the shape of a salamander. Do you know what salamander is? In biology or zoology, remember your animal kingdom? It is an amphibian, right? Which looks like a lizard. So Jerry's resulting district is known as a gerrymander. In our Philippine version, it is like baluarte. Okay, gerrymandering is a practice intended to establish an unfair political advantage for a particular party or group by manipulating the boundaries of electoral districts. And so, a political group tries to change a voting district to create a result that helps them or hurts the group who is against them. So that is gerrymandering. Okay, all right. We are all excited to vote next year, but we are in pandemic. Actually, this is a follow-up question for Group 1, still for Group 1. How do you think COVID-19 can impact the election? Yes, Noel.
Ma'am, of course, all of us adjusted from the pandemic. At first, many people are afraid to go out, so we might get a lower voters turnout. But as we see today, the campaign for voters registration is uprising. And of course, during the election, I think safety protocols will be observed.
Oh, and I'm also sure with that. Thanks, Noel. So again, if you are not registered yet, as long as you are 18 years old, go out and register to increase our voters' turnout. Just follow the health and safety protocols to avoid further transmission of COVID-19. Okay, thank you, Group 1. Now let's hear from Group 2.
In Group 2, we pinned some provinces where Robredo won. Also, the provinces where Cayetano won with 7.41% votes, while Escudero only won in Sorsogon with 1.23% votes. It is evident and can be seen in the map that Cheese Escudero, also an independent like Marcos, won only in his own provinces, which was Sorsogon. So this is more on regionalism. While Cayetano won in Surigao and in all Davao areas because of the influence of his running mate, Rodrigo Duterte, though Cayetano is also independent, his former party, Nacionalista Party, had close ties with PDP Laban Party, whereas President Rodrigo Duterte is a current member. So he chose Cayetano to be his running mate. Actually, Marcos is also in Nacionalista Party, but he is already supporting Miriam Santiago back then. You know, these two parties are friends, so that's why sometimes there were noise about Duterte and Marcos tandem. And that's okay. This is why having a political party is a competitive advantage. Some of its advantages answered by our group are: firstly, they work to ensure information is distributed to everyone, meaning each party may put their own spin on the information to serve their needs and creating opinions that serve as their own goals. Secondly, they encourage people to become politically active. However, political parties have also disadvantages like wrong education of the people. It seems that they try to get votes by false promises and propagandas or ideas disseminated to support a doctrine. Secondly, parties spread corruption. Some parties during elections distribute money among the electorate to secure their votes. It can be seen by the process of bribery. And lastly, the ruling party makes attractive laws near the election in order to catch votes. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Jamie. So we heard about the advantages and disadvantages of a political party, its effect to the candidate and to the public, as well as how it influences voting behavior. I would just like to ask the same question. Maybe other group members can answer. How do you think COVID-19 can impact the election? Anyone? Yes, Eva?
Yes, ma'am. I think the impact of COVID-19 will slow the process of election this time. If the number of persons who will vote in the precinct is controlled, it will not take a day to get results even we are automated. I think COMELEC should think of adding more precinct and PCOS machines so we can have credible figures in day one.
Okay, thank you, Eva. I really hope for a safe election for everyone. Very good, Group 2. So, how are you? Do you think we are now equipped with understanding about the election and political parties? Who are we going to vote for and why? Let's see. I want you to watch this video and later let's reflect on it.
Tôi ไหนค่าเช่าแผงฉันไม่ต้องมาทำตาหน้าสงสารเลยเร็วๆไม่ต้องมาทำหน้าแบบนี้ไอ้อ้อนค่าเช่าแผงอยู่ไหนค้างมากี่วันแล้วเนี่ยฮะบอกได้ใช่ไหมว่าไม่ให้ค้างจะให้หรือไม่ให้อยากตายฉันบอกแล้วใช่ไหมอยากขายต่อไปที่เนี่ยอยากขายต่อไปเลยเจ๊อย่าเจ๊ เอาไปตรงนี้ตามไปตามไปตรงนี้เลยนะ
ปลาเถื่อนที่สีกับขอทราบชื่อของจามเห็นกินแน่ๆกินไม่ได้กินได้
เฮ้ยเจ๊ดังแล้วว่ะ3 วันล้านวิว
ทำอะไรกัน2 คน วันไม่เคยทำงานที่มันมีประโยชน์เลยนะแล้วเลิกเล่นได้ทีได้ไหมโทรศัพท์เนี่ยเอามานี่ดิไม่รู้วุ่นวายอะไรกันมันนักหนาไอ้โทรศัพท์พวก
เอาไงดีเจ๊
เก็บค่าเช่าเท่าเดิม
เอาจ่ายเกินมาดิอยากจะขายต่อไหมอยากจะอยู่ต่อไว้ตลาดเนี้ยฉันบอกกี่ครั้งแล้วกบแต่ช่างเนี่ย
รักษาความเป็นธรรมเหมือนเดิม
มาเลยทางนี้เอาไปทางนี้เลยเร็วๆเดินมาดูวิทย์นวดเข้า
ดูแลพวกเขาเหมือนเดิม
ว่าไงเราขายไม่ดีเลยเหรอไปขายตลาดฉันไหมยังมีแผงว่างอยู่นะไปไหมล่ะ
ช่วยให้เขามีที่ทำกินเหมือนเดิม ทำทุกอย่างเหมือนเดิม
ไม่นี่ก็เหมือนกัน
All right. So how was it? Are we still talking about elections here? So what can you say about the video? Yes, Rana.
Ma'am, though the video is not about elections, the message of it is very important. It tells about how we should be smart, how to make decisions that are not based on stereotyping or by what we only see in social media or what we are hearing from our neighbors. We should know how to weigh situations, do our research to know the truth, and lastly, we should vote with integrity.
Okay. Very good, Frana. Thank you. Are you there? So, very good, Frana. Any additions? Yes, Juliana. Yes, Juliana.
I agree with friend na mom, we should vote with open mindedness and also with integrity. And this is the essence of election, which is an important part of our democracy. We should not selfish and narrow-minded like in the video. The boss is not really 100% bossy, but she has the heart to help others, but other people don't know that. And they become judgmental. So we should remember to vote right because our vote is for all, especially for the future generation.
Okay, that's correct. Very well said, Juliana. So we should take this step seriously with all our minds and with all our hearts. Especially right now, we cannot still say that we are now rising from this pandemic. We are still in the middle of this battle. So in this coming election, be smart, be responsible, be fair. Okay? Don't judge the person too quick. Vote wisely. We still believe that you, the youth, ang kabataan, ang siya pa ring pag-asa ng bayan. Okay? Remember that. Okay? So, we're getting to the end of the lesson. Let's see what we have learned today. Okay, at this moment, let's now give a summarized view of the topic by making a mind map at MindMeister app. Go to that link posted on the screen, or again, Google Lensed it, and make just a simple mind map out of the word election. So let's present the mind map. Oh, you're so really fast. Now we can see some words connected to the word election, like candidates, suffrage, values, Citizens, COMELEC, okay, keep coming. Okay, citizens, we have now branches, qualified, disqualified. All right. So can someone make a quick summary of the topic based on the mind map that the class made? Yes, Mary Joy?
Based on the mind map, election, whether regular or special, is a way qualified citizens choose their candidate or their preferred political party, and party list in a democratic form of government. People has the right to vote or suffrage, and the election is administered by the COMELEC or the Commission on Elections starting from the registration, filing of candidacy during the election using the automated decision system, until the consolidation of election results. We should just bear in mind that during the election, we should be wise in choosing our leaders and we should possess the value of integrity.
That's great. Thank you, Mary Joy. And that is our lesson for today. Okay. But of course, before we really end, let's have a short quiz. Now go to quizzes.com and enter the code 899295. Again, it's 899295 to participate. Okay. So let's start. Let's share the quizzes. Okay, for the first question. An election is a formal decision-making process by which a population chooses an individual to hold public office. Okay, is it true or false? All right, time's up. Oh, no one get the correct answer. But do you think, maybe because of the internet connection, what do you think is the correct answer for this question? Yes, Angelica.
True, ma'am.
Yes, that's right. It's true. Next question. The 2016 election was the first national election that utilized an automated election system. I think we're having a little problem with our connection here, but let's just answer the question. Okay. What do you think is the answer for this question? Yes, Christine.
Ma'am, it's false po, ma'am. Because as shown in the video a while ago, it's already started in 2010.
Yes, it's 2010 election. All right, next question. Okay, suffrage is the right and obligation to vote of qualified citizens in the election of public officers. All of you entered in quizzes, but I think it's really the internet connection. Okay, time's up. So what is the answer for this question? Yes, Syra?
True po, ma'am.
All right, so that is true. Okay, next question. Okay, NAMFREL enforces and administers all laws and regulations relative to the conduct of an election, plebiscite, initiative, referendum, and recall. So what is the correct answer for this one? Yes, Fevi.
False po, ma'am, because it's not NAMFREL, it's COMELEC.
Of course, it's COMELEC. Okay, very good. And this is the last question. A political party is a group of people who seeks positions through the process of elections. What do you think is the answer? Yes, Laika.
True po, ma'am.
Okay, so it's true, correct? Okay, so thank you very much. Congratulations. I know you got high scores on that quiz. And also, you all got 30 points on your presentations a while ago. So you all did a great job today. Do you still have any questions? Questions?
None po.
Okay. So if there's none, thank you. But if there are any problems or questions that suddenly popped up your minds, don't hesitate to message me and let's see what we can do. Okay? So I'll see you on our next meeting. Thank you, grade 12. Bye.
Thank you po.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you po.
Thank you.
Bye-bye po.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Guys.
Thank you po.
Thank you for an engaging discussion of the lesson and for showcasing your best practices, Ma'am Precious. Ma'am
Yes,
Lavi,
po.
yung kanyang topic is very timely that now
Yes, I was about
the
to
election is
say.
fast approaching. And sana matutunan din to ng lahat ng mga boboto ngayong darating na eleksyon, no? So that meron silang idea kung paano ba talaga dumatakbo yan. Ayan, very good topic.
Yes, and yeah, it's very relevant to our time right now. And also one of the things that I noticed is yung use ng applications, no? I think isa sa mga naging blessings nitong school year na to is that we teachers really forced ourselves out of our comfort zones to really learn how to use all these applications that we can, share with our students and to make our discussions really engaging. Ayan. So,
Correct.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Ma'am Precious. And thank you also to the students for really participating in the demo
Ayan, Ma'am
teaching.
Labi, while we are waiting for the next demo teacher,